So you went to bed on time, did you? Yep, 8 o'clock, like you said. And you didn't watch any scary films, I hope? Oh, no, of course not. Isn't Anna's mum so lovely, letting you stay over? Mm-hmm. She did say she wanted to talk to me about something when we get home, though. Do you know what that would be about? No. Remember what I taught you about honesty? If you're honest now, you won't be in trouble. I don't know what Anna's mum is gonna talk to you about, because I didn't do anything wrong. This is your last chance to tell me. Not got anything to tell you. Right, well, if we're gonna be honest, Anna's mum already told me what happened. What? She said that you and Anna were up at midnight doing unspeakable things. No, Mum! Unspeakable things, I tell you. Now, why would Anna's mum make this up? She is making it up. It's your last chance to come clean. Okay. We stole some cookies from the kitchen. I knew it! How could you be so disrespectful? I didn't know what I was doing. I lost control. I taught you better than this. I won't do it again. That's the last sleepover you ever go on, do you hear me? No Christmas stuff? Oh, we haven't got Christmas stuff yet. Well, yeah, I can see that. It's all this scary stuff. Yeah, Halloween's first, before Christmas, so... Well, I want nothing to do with Halloween. I just want to prepare for Christmas. Right, okay, we don't have our Christmas stock yet. So you've got all of this horrible, scary stuff, but no nice Christmas baubles? Yeah, sorry. It's disgusting. The same thing happened last year. Well, yeah, Halloween does happen every year. Oh, well, tell your manager to get the Christmas stuff. Okay, just when you thought this story couldn't get any worse, it did. So basically, I was stupid and I wanted to forgive Jay for cheating on me. We went on a couple of dates after the cheating incident, but in the end, I just couldn't forget what he did, so we did end things there. But me being silly again, after a couple of weeks of no contact, I did text him again and just said did you want to give it another go? He says, sorry, we can't give it another go because now I'm seeing someone and I'm really happy. Obviously, my first thought was that it was P that he was now seeing. Just you wait. We now introduce a new character. Let's call her T. So T was someone that I knew about during the relationship. Her and Jay had been friends for a few years or something, but he told me that she was a lesbian. And as you can guess, T was the new person that he was seeing here. Obviously, after that, I just left things and moved on with my life. After I was out of the situation and after a while, I went onto Facebook one day. I still had Jay's family on Facebook, and when I tell you my shock when I opened Facebook and saw Jay's family posting about his new baby. Yes. Jay and T had a baby together. And it gets worse. Now, I won't reveal my sources here just to protect people that are involved in this story, but I did receive a message from someone later down the line that was worried about Jay being a cheater. Obviously, now he had a baby, his actions would affect the baby as well. Turns out he allegedly cheated on T as well. Fast forward to now, I don't know what's going on with J, T, P, or their baby, but I really hope T and her baby are doing okay. But yeah, I'm not involved in any of it anymore, but I just wanted to come on and tell my story because I think there's so many twists and turns, and learn from my mistakes. If you feel like something suspicious is going on and there's been multiple situations where something dodgy is happening, trust your gut, okay? So anyway, stay safe out there. I tried to get my manager fired. So this story takes place in 2016 and the start of 2017 when I worked in retail. I won't be naming the place that I worked at, but I basically filed a formal complaint about my manager while I still worked there. And I have all of the documents here. So I made a complaint to head office and then they interviewed and investigated the manager. The first point I made in my complaint was that the manager intimidated me and made me cry multiple times. The manager obviously denied denied this, and he also said that he had never seen me cry, which is a complete lie. My next claim was that I thought he was basically sexist. He basically let the male workers have time off for things like football and sports activities, but when it was something like drama or acting, for me, he wouldn't let me have time off. I tried to back up my claim by asking some of my male friend colleagues to back me up on this, because they had told me in private that the manager does let them have time off for football. So my friends agreed to back me up here, and then when they received the email about the investigation, they chose not to respond. Next in my statement, I went on to tell a story which I've since made TikToks about, where the manager saw that I had a sanitary towel in my bag. Basically, when you leave at the end of your shift, you normally get your bag searched and some of your parts of your clothing as well, to check that you haven't stolen anything. But anyway, I remember him screwing his face up in disgust when he saw this pad in my bag, and he made a comment telling me to properly dispose of it, because around the same time when he saw this in my bag, the female toilets were really dirty. So was this comment him trying to make a dig at me for leaving the toilets dirty just because I had that in my bag? The sanitary bin in the women's toilets were overflowing at this point in time, but that wasn't any of our responsibilities. There was someone whose job it is to come into the store and change the bin, dispose of it, clean it. So him having a meeting with all of the females about this dirty bin, I thought was just a bit strange. But anyway, in his interview, his response to this was that he has no memory of this happening. You know when retail staff have to upsell you things at the checkout? They'll ask you if you want something added on that you just don't want. Well, I felt like my manager singled me out when I hadn't sold enough of those extra add-ons. I remember him pulling me aside into the warehouse one day to basically interrogate me about why I hadn't sold enough. Again, I tried to get someone else to back up this claim, someone who witnessed this happening, but when she got the email, she ignored it. Funnily enough, the manager does say that he remembers this event happening. He then showed the investigator a message I had sent him a few days later, where I was basically messaging him to let him know, look, I have sold some add-ons today. I'm proud of myself. So he then took this as a conversation of encouragement. No, I just felt like I had to keep him updated when I actually did sell some add-ons so that I didn't get told off again. And then the manager says in his interview that there's never any pressure to upsell anything. That's crazy. I also said in my complaint that the manager just generally scares me. After I made the complaint, I still had to work with him, and in my opinion, he started to treat me even worse. He made me stand by the front door of the store in winter in shorts selling things, which is something he'd never asked me to do before. A lot of the things that I complained about as well are just normal things that's expected of retail workers. It's normal to be asked to stay an extra few hours after your shift. But in this case, because of how scared I was of him and how intimidating he was, it just felt like I never had a choice and I always had to just agree with things. Obviously, if I thought my shift was over and I wanted to go home and I wanted to get away, he always asked me right at the end of my shift, as I'm about to leave, if I can stay an extra 2 hours. But I always felt like it wasn't him asking, it was him expecting me to say yes. I felt like I couldn't say no. Anyway, in his interview, he said there's never any pressure to say yes to extra hours. I said at the end of my statement, my ideal outcome, and I quote, my ideal outcome would be for the manager to treat everyone nicely so I don't feel scared to go to work. And apparently the manager was taken back by my allegations, and then he showed the interviewer an article that I wrote about him being a really good manager. For context here, he knew that I had a social media following and he wanted more people to come to our store. So to promote the store, he begged me to do a post on Twitter, and it was a picture of me standing outside the front of the shop with the address of the shop and everything, telling people to come, this is where I work. Surely that's dangerous. So that's the only thing that I can think of where I would have publicly said, like, oh, come to my store, I've got a really good manager. Like, I don't know where I wrote an article. But again, anything I ever said about him being nice was obviously just because I was scared of him. Why would I go around saying he's a really bad manager? It says in the document, in conclusion, having considered all the facts and evidence, I can find no evidence to substantiate your claims. So it basically ended there. Obviously, after all of this, I still had to work with the manager, so he was just very off with me and it was really awkward. So a few days after the case got closed, basically, I told him I was quitting. You usually need to give like a week or 2 weeks notice before you quit a job, but I'm guessing he just wanted me gone anyway. So I remember I just went into his office and I said, today's my last day, and he was just like, okay. The end. Follow for more story times.
Ooh, this looks very spooky.
Yeah, I was lucky to find it in a charity shop. It's going to be part of my Halloween costume.
Oh, that's amazing. What's your costume?
A bat.
Oh, of course. Oh, I remember Halloween back in my day.
Oh.
I was a vampire one year, and then the next year I was a clown, and then the next year I think I was a vampire again.
Okay.
And then I got married to my husband, and we did a joint costume. I won't tell you what that was.
Right. Can I just...
And then I had my kids, and oh, they were the cutest pumpkins.
Okay, it's just that...
Then we got a dog. He was a ghost one year. That was lovely.
Sorry, can I just pay for that?
Oh, goodness me, I'm so sorry. Look at me chattering away. Oh, that's just £1.
Thank you. Thank you.
Enjoy that.